my five fans. So Eddie Hearn did an interview, I believe it was yesterday, and he was in talks about all this back and forth that he's been having with Tyson Fury and this whole contract dispute. I did a video not too long ago talking about how Tyson Fury did talk with his manager Frank Warren, and his manager had let him know, saying, "Hey, just let this play out a little bit longer. Give him a little bit more time. I'm not putting any words in anybody's mouth, but it's around that fact that they want to give Eddie Hearn and AJ just a little bit more time to look over the contract and try to get this taken care of." Well, we hear from Eddie Hearn, and he's constantly talking about how, like, somewhat of what Tyson Fury is saying is bull. How they didn't get the contract right away. It wasn't as if they were just handed the contract right then and there the very first day. It took them a while to get the contract. And then, of course, there were some in there proceedings. Honestly, I guess we can see Eddie Hearn's side that, anybody gives you a contract, you're not just going to sign it. Of course, you're going to look over it. And maybe there are going to be some things in that contract that you may not like, that you may not agree to. And maybe that's what the holdup has been. According to Eddie Hearn, it seems like that's what it's been like. It's basically been where Tyson Fury is trying to send him some stuff that he does not agree to. So, of course, that's going to take some time going back and forth, back and forth. And I understand that 100%. I was one of those like, hey, what do you have? What's going on? Why are you not signing this? But after hearing both sides, you definitely could hear it. You definitely could see it. It does take time to look over the proceedings, and especially for a big fight. This is a really big fight. This is not something that you could just accept. Because nonetheless, even though Anthony Joshua is on the losing side, even though Anthony Joshua doesn't really have too much to go on, basically too much from his side where he can, like, any leverage, I should say. He doesn't have too much leverage. But that still doesn't mean he's going to sign away whatever. It doesn't mean that he's going to try to fight for pennies. He is still a big name. He is still a big superstar. So he should be able to fight for what he's worth. According to Tyson, it was a 60-40%. Who knows, honestly, in the end, maybe there was something in there that made AJ, question a few things. Tyson Fury did come out and say that he basically gave AJ everything he wanted. But then again, we always know, guys, there's always three sides to a story. There's your side, there's his side, and then there's the truth. So we never know what might happen. And this is also what I like to say. This is the problem with boxing. This is why we don't deal with this kind of stuff in the UFC, in MMA, or any MMA organization, is because MMA is just organization. In boxing, you got the WBO, the WBA, the IBF, the IBA, all these other different organizations, all these different belts. And then, of course, not just that, we also got networks. We got Showtime, we got ESPN, we have PBC, I believe, or PBA, yeah, I think it was PBC. And then we have all these other, and then, of course, and then DAZN is another one. So we have all these different networks. We have all these different managers. We have all these different promotions. And everybody has to come to an agreement somehow, some way. Where it's going to be shown, where it's going to be seen, who's going to get the most revenue, who's going to get the tickets, who's going to get the pay-per-views. It's not like an in-house thing. See, we know UFC has its issues. Not saying UFC is perfect. Not saying some MMA promotions are perfect. We've heard this long story about how they need to be paid more. The fighters need to be paid more. Well, what they do right is they have one house, one fighters, one house, one organization. This is where your fighters fight. There's only one heavyweight champ. If you want to be heavyweight champ, you got to face this guy. You ain't going to have this bout, this bout, this bout, this bout. Your manager going to have this manager, this manager, this guy, this guy, this guy. I mean, of course, you're going to have managers, but at the same token, you're not going to have all these different reasons why we can't get this fight taking place. Now, of course, in boxing, we do got people who make big paydays, but we got a lot of this nonsense that takes place when it comes to contracts. Of course, if everybody was on ESPN, we wouldn't be having this issue. If everybody was on DAZN, or if everybody was on Showtime, if everybody was on HBO like it was back in the day, if boxing was just one promotion, then yeah, we wouldn't have any of these issues. Everything should be taken care of and squared away 100%. If we'd have this many belts, we wouldn't have this much issue. But unfortunately, this is the problem with boxing. It's been the problem the last quite a few years now. I know in the early days, it didn't seem like it was that big of an issue, but it just feels like more and more with everybody trying to be in their own promotion, their own manager, and creating different networks. It just feels like it now. So it's very unfortunate, very, very unfortunate. But nonetheless, I I am still looking forward to this fight. I really do hope this fight does get taken care of. I do hope Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren, Tyson Fury, and Anthony Joshua can come to some kind of agreement to where we can actually get this fight made. Because we waited long enough. We've been being patient long enough. We want to see these two Brits go at it. We know the hatred that these guys have for each other. We know the trash talking that these guys have that they're going to be doing at the press conferences, and we all want to see it. We all want to see it, and we want to see these two clash. And it's going to be one fun, epic, hell of a fight, and I can't wait to see it. I know you guys can't either. But I would like to know what you guys think. Who do you think is the real reason why this contract has not been signed? Who do you think is the one that's maybe asking for too much or not asking enough? Or maybe all this is just a ploy where we're not going to get this all at all. Anything. We're not going to get this fight at all. And I would like to know what you guys think in the comments. So definitely let me know. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.